Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, there lived a merchant, an honest and attentive man, father to 6 children. Life had once granted him abundance, then tested him through loss. Yet his home was never deprived of warmth, presence, or tenderness. His youngest daughter was called Belle, not because she was the most beautiful, though many said she was, but because she possessed the rare gift of seeing beyond appearances. From early childhood, Belle stood apart from her sisters. Parties held little interest for her. Precious fabrics left her unmoved. What she loved were books, maps of distant lands, and long conversations where questions outnumbered answers. She spoke little, but she watched deeply. She listened with care, as though every silence had something to say. She cherished calm, the kind that orders the mind and soothes the heart. She longed for knowledge, for ancient manuscripts written by patient minds, for journeys that began upon a page. She knew the world was vast, and that understanding it required time. Often she would repeat quietly to herself, "Knowledge is a light that no one can extinguish." When fortune left the family, the merchant lost his ships and his wealth. To salvage what might still be saved, he set out for a long journey to a distant port city where honest trade still offered hope. Before departing, he asked his daughters what they wished him to bring back. The elder sister spoke of jewels and silks. Belle fell silent for a moment, as though searching for something more essential. "Please bring me a rose," she said at last. Not for adornment, but as a reminder that beauty, however fragile, can survive even winter. On his return journey, the merchant lost his way in a deep forest. Night fell, and the paths vanished beneath the snow. That was when he saw a light. A castle stood among the trees, ancient, majestic. Its windows glowed with a welcoming warmth, as though awaiting whoever dared approach. The castle was enchanted. Doors opened without a sound. Fireplaces offered a steady, gentle flame. The air carried the scent of tea and all memories. In the dining hall, teapots filled themselves with tea, pouring the infusion with infinite care. Clocks moved slowly, measuring not time, but patience. And in the garden, despite the cold, roses bloomed. When the merchant plucked one, the beast appeared, imposing, fearsome in appearance. Yet in its eyes lived a very ancient loneliness. "This rose had a price," said the beast. "Either you remain here, or someone shall come in your place, out of love." When the merchant told his family everything, Belle listened without interruption. Then she rose. "I will go there," she said simply. It was not a reckless impulse. It was a choice born of love and responsibility. The castle welcomed Belle as though it recognized her steps at last. Corridors brightened as she passed. Candles inclined their flames. Staircases creaked more softly. The objects there held memory. Cups drew nearer when Belle was weary. The great clock slowed when a conversation mattered. Curtains parted of their own accord to let in exactly the right light. But the heart of the castle was the library, vast, silent, filled with books from every horizon. The books imposed nothing. They waited. At times, a volume would slip from a shelf and open at precisely the right page. At others, the pages remained blank, reminding Belle that some truths are not read, they are discovered within. In the evenings, Beauty often dined with the beast. They spoke of books, of the world, of solitude. The beast was not cruel. It was awkward and desperately in need of presence. "Am I frightening?" it asked one day. Belle looked at it for a long moment. "You are very lonely," she replied gently. From that moment on, something shifted. Love arrived slowly, rooted in daily life, in shared words, and in a silence that had grown peaceful. After visiting her father, Belle returned to the garden and found the beast there, still, crushed beneath the weight of years. "I'm here," Belle whispered, "and I'm staying." The light appeared softly, as though not to disturb the moment. Warmth enveloped the garden. The ancient spell began to unravel. The transformation was slow. Features softened. The burden fell away. Peace returned to the gaze. When the light faded, A prince stood before Belle, the same being she had known, set free. The garden thawed, the castle filled with clarity. Magic did not vanish, it became kind. Belle taught in the library. The prince listened, learning beside her. The castle opened its doors to others, becoming a place of knowledge and rest. And the rose continued to bloom, without enchantment, as the symbol of a transformation fulfilled. If this story lingers within you, perhaps it is speaking of you as well. Perhaps there's a place within you ready to thaw. Thank you for being here. This was Tales of Light. Until we meet again in the silence that illuminates.